The Saiga D12 is arguably one of the best shotguns in the game. So let's look into how good this thing actually is. Alright, so the Saiga is a magazine-fed shotgun that is semi-automatic, which already makes it better than most other shotguns just by virtue of its fire rate and its feeding system. The upgrades for it are actually quite good, and there is a meaningful decision to make for one of the major forks in the upgrade tree. So for the stock, we have a weight reduction, aiming accuracy, and then a blueprint for 10% aiming speed or recoil decrease. Either of these is fine. If you want to be aiming down sight faster, this would be good for like a more slug-oriented build. If you want to reduce recoil, even with slugs, this could be good for that as well. And then, of course, for the handle, we have recoil decrease or aiming speed, and then you can get moving while aiming. So if you want to be more of like an aim down sight oriented, like pushing build, like you're not like sitting still, like sniping with slugs, which you kind of can do with this gun. You were more of like, using buckshot or like closing distance and moving while aiming. And then of course you can get recoil recovery. So for this one, we'll go for the aiming speed or the moving while aiming. And then for the center of the gun, we have flatness, which gives you a range increase, and then we have wear and tear and weight reduction. I would get the wear and tear. Wear and tear in veteran mode is arguably one of the best things, especially if it's that or weight reduction. You're getting a weight reduction of 1 kilogram. The amount of money you're going to be saving by getting 20% more durability, it doesn't compare in my opinion. And then for the scope mount, this will allow you to get a red dot or a 2x scope. And the other attachments, there's 3 attachments for this gun: the red dot or the 2x scope, and then there's also a high capacity magazine. For the front, you can get a spread decrease or you can get a recoil decrease. Now the spread decrease reduces the buckshot spread. So if you want to run buckshot, get this. If you want to aim down sight and run slugs, you could go recoil decrease. You can get a weight reduction on this. It's not bad, we might as well get it. Now this is an either or, so you can't get both. There's also a 10% recoil decrease handle, a laser designator for aiming speed, and spread decrease. Spread decrease on all buckshot weapons tightens up the pattern so that when you are aiming down the sight or you're crouching, your buckshot spread is pretty tight. And also when you're just like moving around, standing, jumping, it tightens it as well. And this includes when firing from the hip. So this is actually really good. Now there are 2 routes to go down. Basically, there is the spread decrease route, which is more buckshot oriented, which will allow you to squeeze more shots out of your gun before it breaks, because the armor piercing rounds, the slugs, do cost more durability. And then there is the armor penetration slug route. Now when you get the rifled barrel, like in order to get this, so you can't get the choke with this, and you can't get this instead of the choke. So like you have to go like this, or I'm sorry, you can get like these 2. I don't believe you can get this with the, because the extra rifle or the extra barrel rifling is always for every other shotgun. You have to get rifled barrel for the slugs only, and then this gives you caliber change, spread decrease, so it gives you a little bit more range, and then you get the extra penetration. So overall, you can get the range to I think about like 2.5. And then with the extra penetration and slug round headshots, you actually can turn this thing into like a mini, like close range sniper rifle with slugs. So it can be really good with buckshot if you go with the spread decrease routes, or it can be really good with slugs if you go for the armor piercing, like headshot. Either way you want to be headshotting, but you have like a choke decrease, like a spread decrease, or you have the armor piercing. And then you also have a flash suppressor, which you should always run because it reduces recoil and it reduces spread. Now with all these things factored in, the spread is actually quite good on buckshot. And if you also have the operator exoskeleton or the ruby, you can get an upgrade on your exoskeleton that increases accuracy by 20%, which does affect hip fire. And if we crouch, we actually have pretty tight patterns. Now the RAM is a little bit tighter than this. The RAM has a little bit better like spread upgrade, so it ends up having like tighter buckshot, but this is still more than serviceable. And even if you don't get, one tap, you can follow up pretty quickly. So for max firing speed, as fast as you can click is how fast you can fire. This gun is definitely a little bit better at fighting mutants, certain mutants, than the Ram 2. So against bloodsuckers, you don't even have to get headshots. You can just unload buckshot into the center of mass, and you'll easily kill them in like a single instance of them appearing. Now with the ram, you can 2-tap them with headshots on Texan, but you can also get headshot damage on this, but it'll take probably like 3 to 4 headshots on a bloodsucker. So to begin, we're going to do slug body shots without the penetration increase. With the penetration increase, it might change its breakpoints, but... So, 2 shots, 3 shots it looks like. Alright, 2-shot body shot on slugs. With buckshot. 1, 2, 3-shot body shot, buckshot. And then both will 1-tap if enough pellets hit with the buckshot. So that's a little bit out of range. Let's make sure we have a nice clean headshot here. So around this range, or, you know, maybe even like here, if you get a nice clean grouping, you can kind of see the grouping. You want to have most of those pellets hit the head in order to kill. With slugs, just the single slug has to hit. So let's go demo that now. See a nice clean slug headshot. So the slugs actually allow this thing to be kind of like semi-automatic, close-range sniper rifle of sorts. So if you want to run, like if you're going to run a buckshot build, you can still run slugs, and they're still effective at range. So like if we just aim at like this point here, you can see that they're quite accurate. So if you want to get headshots and kill consistently with slugs, this weapon is actually pretty good at doing that. Now, at ranges beyond like 2.5, you're going to experience damage drop-off, but the weapon does still have higher base damage than a lot of weapons, so it's like 140 base, and I believe the armor-penetrating rounds reduce the damage by quite a bit. So, like, you get through armor, but it does reduce the base damage. Now, on this one spreadsheet, it says it reduces it by 2%, but I think it's a little bit more than that. But either way, it can 1-tap with slugs or buckshot. Slugs are more reliable. And now from the hip, let's look at the hip fire stuff. So just like standing with all the spread decreases, and we're also wearing ruby armor with 20% increased aim. Here's like your standing accuracy. Here's moving. So moving, you get a little bit, so this was just a random group that happened to be good, but moving, you'll get a little bit of bloom. Now, because our spread is so low, the bloom is going to be very negligible, and then crouching and aiming have the exact same accuracy. So you can kind of see, like that's just crouching, that's aiming, crouching, aiming. So crouching or aiming will get you tighter spread, and then of course, like let's say you're sprinting, then you quickly crouch. Just crouching for like fractions of a second. So here's, let's shoot at this material. Let's get a little bit farther back. So it's like micro crouch. That's a micro crouch. So as long as you shoot as you're crouching slightly, you can kind of be moving around. The interesting thing about this playstyle is it allows you to be very mobile. Takes some getting used to doing. Also, if you just ADS, you get the crouch benefit, so you can also just play like that. But you will get like this kind of crap where like sometimes you'll get like lean and like weird results that are kind of annoying that I don't care for. So if you're trying to push the micro crouch, or if you're close enough, you can just go for headshots. Now for recoil, because this thing is semi-automatic, it goes up and to the right. So you want to hold down and to the left to stabilize recoil. Now this is especially useful against killing like bloodsuckers, against burrs. You can kill a burr in like 3 to 4 shots. If you get close enough, you land headshots. So this is a really good mutant killer, and it's really good at general combat. So that's pretty much it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe if you find this useful. Let me know if I missed anything, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.